There's this popular saying, especially among women, that what a man can do, a woman can do it better. Well, I don't know about that, but we're going to be discussing about productivity between the men and the women. Well, I have to say that productivity is not about how much work you can do, but productivity is all about the results you're able to produce at the end of the day. Research has also shown that when it comes to organization, you give an A to the women. When it comes to delivering to deadline, give an A to the women. Well, you can say because I am a woman, that is why I'm supporting that. But well, we're going to leave it up to the panel to debate on this interesting topic, productivity between men and women. Who does it more?
Man or a lady, I don't know yet. You're welcome to today's live on ECWA Television. I almost said the lifeline. Today's live on ECWA Television. My name is Tony Jane Akale. I have Bulk, I have Sambo, Sabi, Solomon, I have Valia here to discuss with me. We're talking about a topic that is extremely sensitive, and we have to be careful how we deal with it so that there will not be blood, sweat, and tears on the set today. Male and the female gender, who is more productive in workplace? You're welcome.
Thank you.
The foundation has been laid for the discussion this morning, and the seller is beginning to make suggestions as to who is more productive and all of that. Thank God she's not on set to continue what she has started.
She has taken side already.
So how are you today? It's early in the morning. It's not early though, but how are you today?
I'm great.
The day is just starting. Are we
God.
all fine?
Thank God.
Yeah, that means we're good to go.
Yes.
So, who's more productive?
Well, for me,
Say it and shut up.
men are more productive.
Solo,
Men, of course.
Valia.
Obviously, women are more productive.
All right. Okay, so if I'm the one leading the lynch mob on this this morning, I don't think I should be on any side, but I just tell the truth and shut up my mouth.
Okay.
So why did you say men are more productive?
Well, because men make things happen. They rule the world. From the foundation, God created man.
Okay. We don't know man after the flesh. That's what the Bible says. No, we know man after the flesh. Go ahead, Util.
Well, for me, I would say I said men are more productive at work because of quite a
You have
lot
to frown
of
to explain.
previous experiences I've had. I've worked in other places before coming here, and I've seen how people work, and I give it to the men because they put in more when it comes to time, when it comes to giving the physical input into what they are doing. They are 100% on that. And when it comes to spending extra time too, you can give it to them because really the men don't have much of the house chores that they think of. I want to run back to washing plates or cooking for the children, and so they tend to spend more time at work and they stay extra time for that day.
Do you not know that people can spend time morning to night doing nothing?
Yeah, they people can do that too.
Let me read out something to you. Working on weekends doesn't put you ahead. What about weekend work? While the study showed that men worked more over the weekend, which is true, than women did, men still complete less work each week.
Yes, they do, because when you check it, I would say men put like less focus when it comes to working extra time, but at the end they get a result, and the result is what matters.
Okay.
Yes.
On the topic, we're not going to be talking about work relating to what we do here. We're talking about work generally. Yes. So this has to be laid so that I know everybody in the office right now, they're everywhere to talk about this.
Yes. Some people are waiting for me to come out already.
I think is your opinion should matter to you what more than what people would say, more than what people would think about what you're going to say. At some point you are almost shouting, trying to prove your point for us to know that, man, it's all okay. It's all okay.
So, like you say, it's today's life. That's the opinion that always you find out there while people discuss. You know, even at home with family, you see such discussions coming, but doesn't mean that after the discussion, then you and your wife separate ways. No,
and mind you, there's no trophy at the end of the show. So just make your comments as neutral as possible. Valia, I know you are heads over heels, trying to make some comments and all.
What makes a man?
What?
Simple question. What makes a man?
A man.
Woman. What makes a man complete? Woman. Is a woman. Again, women are described as the support system. They are described as absorbers. That's a shock absorber.
Support system.
Yes, the support system. Women are described as the neck of men or a man. If without the neck, you can imagine if you are the head. You said you are the head. You establish the fact that men are the head. You said they are the head. How would the head stand without a neck? So women are the neck that support you, and they determine where you turn the head to, either right, left, front, or backwards. So you are incomplete as a man without a woman. So women make things happen. Women multitask. This is a thing that men cannot do. Women do a lot of things. I don't know if I can go on and on again, or maybe I have to stop at this point.
Go ahead. And it's your time. So
okay.
So make your point.
All right. So women can multitask. Women can go places for a man or men. But men are limited in terms of that ability. Men go back to the women to get solace and support. Yes, at work, they put in much effort and all that. I'll tell you, there's a woman somewhere giving him the moral support to get the results at work. Without that woman, he will fail woefully. Like, you have to be mentally empowered, you have to be physically empowered, you have to be socially empowered, and you also have to be educationally empowered. So for every man, there is a woman. He would need a soft side. Men are always strong. Yes, they are energetic, they are strong. Women are not as strong as men when it comes to physical, this thing. But a few women are proving us wrong on that part, though. But I will trail the part of, yes, men are energetic. But again, energetic when you are not mentally boosted. You cannot be energetic when you are not moved to be energetic and to bring up results. Who are the source of those moves? Who are the source of those motivation? It's the women. If the women tells a man, whoa, I'm proud of you, he feels like he's the king and he can go to do so many things and achieve so many things to conquer the mountains and conquer the world. But if a man comes back from work and the woman tells him, you mean, is this the only thing you could come? The man will be demoralized, and that result he achieved will be a waste, because when he gets back, if he's not boosted again, he cannot achieve more results.
When I asked earlier in the show what everyone's opinion was, and you were saying women are more productive than men, I got ready and I agreed with the point until you started explaining. So
that's on one hand. I have more to say as the discussion continues.
So I was trying to understand from the angle she was coming. I was confused.
She's turning the show into a marriage seminar. I'm just wondering, like, the point. We are not talking about support system, the kind of support system that makes you productive at work. There is nobody in the world that will come out to say women are more productive than men. Nobody would say that. No. We know that women are productive. They are not more productive than men.
I would explain something.
Did you just notice I'm in the middle of a conversation?
Please go ahead.
Women are extremely more organized than men.
No doubt.
Women are more trustworthy than men.
No doubt.
But in terms of productivity, by the default of our nature, how we're created, a woman cannot be more productive than man, even though there are women that are more productive than men. We cannot argue that. But a man is created to be more productive. It's just that some men have heads that are void of brains. You understand? So it's true that I have, God has placed me on top of people here in ECWA Television to lead them. And I know everybody's weakness and strength. And I know how that I rely more on the ladies because they are truthful, they are honest, they are trustworthy. But I cannot put them at the forefront of the line where I can put Hassan, where I can put Moses, where I can put Victor, where I can put Sam, where I can put all the men that I have here. You understand? But there are things I want to do. I cannot think of these brothers that I mentioned. I start thinking, where is Joyce Yakwari? Where is Vali Agado? Where is Aisha? Where is Wese? Where are all these ladies? They need to get this done for me. We have to understand, women, it's not every job that is meant for you. Sometimes, I heard a lady said in the US that sometimes the man for the job is a woman. You understand? She works so hard and I'll be like, what are you doing? Everybody has gone for lunch and you're still here. She said, Tony, sometimes the man for the job is a woman. She's so strong. She drives a truck. She does all of these things and she has kids with different daddies and the fathers are not there. And you don't see her struggling. Like, oh, I need to pay rent. And she's up and doing. That is being productive. But something gave rise to that productivity. You understand? A situation, maybe if there was a man in her life and he's up and doing, providing, doing everything, she might just be a lazy woman on the couch, maybe. So if you were talking about women being more organized, women being more careful, I bet you can give a woman a laptop in the office. 3 years later, it's still almost as new as it was when it was given to her. But you give a brother, the screen is in the bag, the keypad is in, and then he's holding the screen like this. He just doesn't want to. Like, we are like that. Sometimes that's how we get jobs done, right? Like, in the midst of broken pieces of stuff, we still get jobs done. You understand? And we should start spelling out what productivity is. You understand? What is productivity? Can putting more hours to work be called productivity?
No.
Okay, if not necessarily, no. If not,
It can to an extent.
it can to an extent. No, not necessarily. Okay, or not necessary. What would you say more to buttress on the points that you're ready to establish?
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, some men tend
Before you
to
go
lose-
further, we don't have to take a break. We can just be cool with it, right?
Sure.
Yeah, let's just feel free.
Some men tend to lose focus when they add extra time to what they are doing. Like, you were supposed to close by 6, but you're staying till 8. They tend to lose focus because there's stress and there's more of intellectual thinking you have to do. But at the end of the day, for those that lose focus, they attain less result. But for some, it's in that extra time that they tend to focus more because there's nobody in the office. People that tend to cause distraction to them. It boils down now to how one's ability is working. Because for some people, when they have crowd within them, they tend to be distracted. While for some, when there's less crowd, that's when they focus and work better for results that are what we can call productive. So why I said it's not necessary, it's because of that. it's now based on the kind of person and how they achieve what they achieve based on what they put in.
Well, the reason why I said no is because everything lies on result.
At the end.
At the end. So it's the matter of a result. Whatever time, whether you've put in more time or less time, as long as that person that need that result is satisfied, you're done. I don't think the time matter, because when you look at, okay, let's take farming for instance. Yes, farming, you put more time,
but you have to wait, man.
Sure, that is why you find out you wake up very early to go to the farm so that you will cover a lot of space during the plowing, and then that one, it needs energy, so you have to be strong to put more energy so that you cover a lot of space. In the case of our job here, every second count, and you need something to be done. You can't take 2 hours setting up for a program that will last 50 minutes. You don't have that time.
Other programs will suffer.
Other programs would suffer. And I read something one time. It says, if you want a job to be done fast, give a lazy person, because he will always find a shortcut to do it.
Was it a bloody man that wrote that?
So when I read that, I laughed. Yes, it's funny, but if you look at it, there's sense.
There's no sense.
There's more sense in it, because you look at it laughing at you. I just read it so well.
Yeah.
You know, so he said the lazy person will always find a shortcut to just get the work done. So at the end of the result is that, is the work done well or not? That is it. If the work is being done perfectly, I think
you don't care whether it was done with, but Valia, what's the point?
But there are some persons that will be given the work early. They will not start on time. And then when it's almost time to submit the work, they will hastily do it and they will mess everything up. That is another aspect. So time is key. Again, the number of time you put into something can amount to great results. And then the number of time you put into something again can amount to you messing it up or not achieving great results. That's another dimension to it. So it's not all about the time. Time is of essence, but again, it goes further to the state of mind. Are you in the state of mind to achieve it? Are you creatively thinking to achieve it? Like in our industry, you made reference to the broadcasting industry and you said time is of essence. Of course, time is of essence, but again, are you in a state of mind that you're able to creatively craft out something, and then when you submit it as a result, it will be accepted or rejected? That's another aspect. Again, beyond the state of mind, it also goes further to tell the kind of input you put into it. You can decide that, okay, I have less time, so I'll just do it lackadaisically. Let me break the word anyhow. And then you don't end up achieving the goal or the results that is expected. Or you can decide that, whoa, I have a short period, I'll put in all my best, I'll gather all the data, all the information that I need to ensure that this program comes out well. That is another dimension to it.
Okay. Well, where is the place of knowledge in all of this? You get, when you were talking, I was quiet and I was just listening to all the valid points that you're making, because every point you make is extremely valid, depending on where you're coming from, what you have seen in terms of what your experiences have been, and all of that. But where's the place of knowledge? Valia can be extremely knowledgeable in handling a device like this. So when you give her a project, because she knows the device, she can work her way through and it consumes less of her time. Here am I with the knowledge about the project, but I cannot bring it out for people to access it. So knowledge is key. I tell the guys that I try to impart engineering knowledge anywhere I find myself, that when you know it, you spend less time doing it than when you start guessing. Right?
Yes.
Yes. So when you walk into a kitchen and you find a stove, or we call it gas cooker, but okay, you find a stove that has 3 burners. And these days they make them with you don't need a matchbox, you don't need nothing. You just turn it. But if you turn it, it doesn't come on until you push it and turn it. One time somebody came to our house to visit. That was a very long time ago. We were all young. He's late, my mother's brother. And the gas was on. The food was burning. My mother stepped out. So he blew it. He didn't know how to turn it off. So he blew it. And it went off. And the gas was still out. It was still pumping out. You know. So if he had known it, he would have just walked straight to the knob and turned it.
And you would have saved the time.
No, the danger.
The danger.
Because any flame close to that kitchen at that time would have been a huge chaos. Right. Now, what am I trying to explain? It's difficult to talk about work without relating it to what you do, right? It's so difficult. When you want to achieve something, find out there's what is called workflow. You have to be knowledgeable in that area first. You cannot think about productivity without thinking knowledge. You're following, right?
Yes.
You cannot talk about productivity without thinking knowledge. Do you not know that there are tailors that you can give, like people who make clothes? You can give them a material to make for you, and they'll just take a day to make it. But when we see you coming, we'll be like, who's that? Because it's just like a car trampling on your body, and just the shape we used to know you with is missing. The only thing is that your face is not covered, so we can find out this is who you are. But some tailors, that's why people say, and most of the time people who mess you up are people who know the job very well. You give another tailor who has a lot of people waiting on the queue, and then they bring out the best of your beauty with that piece of art. What is the difference between them and the other person? Knowledge. So when you were talking about 2-hour setup for a 15-minute show, I just sit and think knowledge. Knowledge. Okay, have you ever been on an upstairs, a building that has floors? If there's no elevator in the building, you have to take the what?
The staircase.
They are steps, right? But all of the steps are not at the same level. That's how knowledge is. You are at a particular knowledge level in life. He is at a particular level in life. I am, you are, in terms of knowledge. You see, all of them are steps, but they are not at different level. The more you take the steps, the more elevated you are. The more you work on your knowledge, the more productive you will become, and the less time you will spend. I remember also telling people all the time that there are people who can do what you need them to do when you want them to do it and deliver at the right time, right? But they tear a lot of things in the process of trying to make this thing work, right? They try to tear a lot of things in the process of trying to make this thing work. So you are supposed to type a document, and because you know how to type, you left the document till 5 minutes to the time that is needed, and you presented the document to the guy who's reading it, and there are a lot of mistakes on it. So don't just think that there is a job that has a magnitude than the other. All jobs are jobs. You can be so shocked that the one that you care less about is the one that can hold us ransom in this place for days. Like just waking up and changing the oil in the generating set becomes a problem when we are out of power. We all have to sit. Batteries, there is a limit to how batteries can go. You have to sit and wait for the right time. Should we take a break? I'm seeing signs everywhere. Okay, let's take a break. I don't know why they are making me take a break.
The directors.
Really in the Victor, you have to be careful. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Hassan Danjuma, and I'm inviting you to Panambande's live worship concert tagged By My Spirit. You can watch us at ECWA TV Africa, YouTube, and Facebook. Come and be part of what God is doing in this generation. God bless you.
I am Owolabi Tosin. I am inviting you to participate and watch the Panambande live worship concert on ECWA TV Africa on the 14th of June 2020. Don't miss it.
Our ministry is blessed with more than just what talent is.
From all the ECWA talent shows, we can tell.
From dance to singing.
Spoken words to drama.
Burning deep in the inside, but cold on the outside. I need a blanket.
You are a dog.
What? You are very
He can't list them all.
Just so you know, we have the top 5 TED performances to amaze you into believing.
And for emphasis sake, we will bring the show 3 times a week.
With catch-ups 3 times a week again.
Top 5 test performances.
Only on ECWA TV Africa.
Hello, my name is Tebita Bulama and I invite you to the live worship concert of Panambande on ECWA Television.
Welcome back to the Lifeline, and we are talking about work. Today's life. Welcome back to today's live, and we're talking about who's more productive at workplace, is it the brothers or the sisters? And she's going with the brothers, he's going with the brothers, and she's going with the sisters. And I am going with both. If you follow my what's it called?
Position, your take?
My decision or my take. I think both people are productive because it depends on where they find themselves. But if you're talking about productivity, like I earlier established, the brothers are more productive, but the sisters are trustworthy, they are more organized, and then they are truthful. In most cases, a sister will break a dish in the office and tell you, "I'm sorry, sir, I broke this," but the brother can be like, "No, I'm not telling you, Jack."
Like, I have a question. Don't you think men being referred to as more productive to women has a lot to do with the patriarchal nature of our society? That's letting men be at the forefront, making men the head of things, making them to dominate things.
Okay. That's let me just cut you there. And how many heads do we have in ECWA Television?
1.
No, heads, like heads of units.
Okay, we have like 5.
Name them.
We have head of productions.
Give me their names.
Okay, Moses Ija, Joyce Akwari, Solomon Sambo Save, Donald Weze, Valia Gado, and then we have the GM, and what other head? I think that's all. Okay, head of transmission, that's Yila.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. Considering our strength and our weaknesses here, if you're watching, we're just using our case here as an example to explain. Considering our weaknesses and our strength, if I took Valia Agado and made her the head of production. And then I took commercial and marketing and gave it to Moses. Based on both knowledge, based on the knowledge you have on both people. What do you think the level of our productivity will be in these two areas?
Well, the level of the productivity will depend on the interest in the job. Most times a lot of people or society perceive that women should be used as marketers or commercial.
No, I'm just talking in our case.
Okay, in our case, I feel the level of productivity may either be high or low based on interest.
You know these two people that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know yourself, you are Valia, and you know Moses as being head of production and you being head of commercials. If I swap the position today, what do you think would happen to these two units?
Both units will still do well.
How? Compare it to before it was swapped.
Compared to, they'll still be high. It will still be high, and it may even appreciate. It may even increase.
I don't believe
that's my opinion.
No, it's not your opinion. I'm asking. It's based on the strength.
Yes.
Because right now, if I take Moses to be head of commercials and marketing,
I see Moses having great commercial skills.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If he has great commercial skills, do you have great production skills?
I do, because of the interest I have in that.
Because of the interest you have. What about your knowledge about it?
I do have a knowledge,
you don't.
but I have to
you
work.
Don't.
I have to work.
You have an idea what the knowledge is, not having the knowledge. But so one will suffer, and if it suffers, the other one would be strong. But then the weaknesses there will be revealed because one is suffering. You have to understand that if you head a place, if you cannot think fast, if you cannot think and reason balance, a lot of things would go wrong. We just had a technical hitch while the show was on. It's not like the guy is not knowledgeable or he does not have technical skills. But things can happen. CNN make mistakes and they beg your pardon and they continue.
Yes.
You get the point.
Yes.
But that is even someone who is knowledgeable. But
Imagine.
someone... Can you run the TriCaster?
To an extent, not
you
completely.
Cannot.
But time can tell.
Changing shots. No, changing shots. If you're talking about time,
with interest and
people
time.
watching ECWA television right now, they don't care whether we have a lot of staff. We don't. Whether the person on the TriCaster has knowledge or he doesn't, they just know you are a TV station, you should be perfect. That is what is obtainable and that is what is true. I cannot be training you on a job that you applied to say this is what you're qualified for. And then I can give you an orientation. But if I give you an orientation for 1 year, you are not qualified for the job. That's true. If I take you to be head of production today, our productions will suffer. Why? Because you need to get home, maybe to other things that are at home and there are productions waiting. You need to stay on the job. Like sometimes the head of production here stays longer doing nothing, really. But he's monitoring other productions that are not his business. But because he's head of production, he's not just looking to wait for you to finish. But when you make a mistake, because he's a production person, he can correct you because he has the knowledge. Production is not just giving instructions. It's having an idea, a knowledge, a useful and important knowledge about production. That goes with any other unit or discipline. So if we are talking about men being more productive in workplace, technically, if you are talking about technical jobs and services rendered, men are more... I don't see women climbing skyscrapers to do jobs. There are some things they leave women to do. Women are good with paperwork. The brothers don't care about paperwork. I am not good with paperwork, but I am good with my job. So if I have Valia who is good with paperwork and she's compensating my job with the paperwork and I present and I give her the credit, I cannot say she's more productive than me. Without the knowledge that she's supposed to do about the paperwork. there's no paperwork coming out.
Yes.
Well, I beg to disagree, but the discussion.
No, go ahead.
I beg to disagree because interest can also make that woman attain the level, even go higher than the level that that man has attained already.
Okay.
If I have interest in a job, and maybe in production job, I can decide to put in much time, and I can decide to forget about my social life, put in much time, do the rigorous work that men do. Sometimes I see some women when they come to help in carrying heavy things and doing some of these things, they say, no, you're not a woman, just leave it for this guy. Some men say no, some women say no, I can do it, just allow me to do it, I'll go ahead. So I think interest has a long way, has a lot to do with how much results you are able to deliver between the male folk and the female folk.
And now, hold on, in what kind of organization?
In all organizations.
If you own a radio station, and I came to interview for a live show to host on your radio station that you own, and you ask me how many years have I put in service, and I say I just graduated, but I have interest. If you ask me what is this in radio that is expected to be done, and I say I don't know it for now, but I have interest, would you honestly use your Christian mind to answer? Would you honestly let me go live on TV based on interest?
Yes, because interest make you do wild things. There are people who have studied courses, and it's not their field of study, but because of interest has made them to get some other skills somewhere, and they are good at it even more than what they studied. And then when they come on the platform, if the person has the interest and if the person has the interest, and I test the person and I see that you can deliver, fine, I'll allow you go.
Sorry. I'm just trying to, I'm not in an argument with you, but I'm just, because people are watching and they are learning, right? People are watching and they are learning. I want to disregard the existence of Solo and Buck on this set, because the show is about me and you right now. I want to ask you certain questions. You talked about possibility of me swapping roles between you and Moses Ija, and then you can handle what Moses Ija is doing even more perfect. You established that earlier. Now, did you think about the period between, because interest is also school.
Yes.
While you are at it, you are learning. That's what you are saying. If we let you be on the TriCaster that you say you have knowledge on, and then we have shows, between the time that you're learning and the time that you are doing this work, how many audience would we lose?
Again, I want us to see.
No, it's just
no.
You made all your points. You made all your points, and I said people are learning, right? And I want people to learn and understand. People should learn and understand. We will all make our points. Sure. We are derailing, but I think it's good.
We are on point.
It has two answers to it. You will lose and you will not lose. You may get even more. Why? Because sometimes when you see some persons, maybe based on what they have read, it's possible that they are learning a lot of things underground, and a lot of people don't have an idea of what they are learning, and they don't know that they have the ability to do more than some other persons, or they have the ability to do certain things. So it's possible that that person has the ability even before coming forth, and then you now making this suggestion of swapping. It's possible. That's why I said if it is in that case, then maybe your viewership would even increase. But if it is not in that case, maybe the learning process is about to start. Once you're given the assignment, you're assuming the responsibility, and then you now start developing the interest. You will need some time to learn it, and then possibly you will lose some viewers.
Okay. Now, I have done a lot of travels with you, a lot I can't count. And there are certain times you come to me with a sheet of paper that is blank, with my suggestions of names of people to travel with, besides me and you.
Sure.
I have written certain names, and you have crossed them out a lot of times. Have you?
Sometimes.
A lot of times you have. I think in almost all the trips, to an extent, I got settled with the people you like traveling with.
No, sometimes, not all the time.
You didn't say all the time.
Okay. Why did you strike out some names?
Well, I strike out some names based on interest, based on results, because of experience that I've had with such persons. And then some persons that I never knew could do certain things, I get surprised when they get to the field and I see what they are able to deliver.
And there are people that you have traveled with that disappointed you on the trip.
Sure, there are.
Why did you travel with them initially?
That's because sometimes you try some persons and sometimes some persons may not be available and you need to make do with the option B.
Can you decide to stay at home and not come to work because of interest?
No.
Why?
It's a work that you've been given and you need to
So
deliver.
why didn't you make these people follow you if they are working with us and they have to deliver on the job?
I don't understand your question. Can you make it simpler?
The people that you refuse to let them follow you. These are not people we just picked on the street. They are people working with us. Why didn't you make them follow you? Because they are working with us.
Well,
if you cannot decide to come to work based on interest.
Well, if I have the options or people that are there to do the job already, then I will decide that, okay, you shouldn't go. But if I do have the option, or sometimes circumstances can come and those people are not there, or sometimes I may just notice that you have this interest or ability in this, I can decide to pull you up on the journey.
Okay. So it's time for you to make
Okay, well, I'm still dwelling on the instance you give by swapping jobs or positions. Now, when we are looking at media and what we do here now, time will be affected because you are swapping this person that doesn't have more knowledge to this position, this new position that you're giving him. So our time now will be mismanaged because by the time that this person is supposed to achieve this, the person with interest is still battling with ideas to bring out the results.
So,
okay. Well, I will say, I will. Okay, let me put it this way. Both are important. Like male and female, they are doing well. But I want to see it in this angle. It depends on the area of your choosing career. And then interest that you talked about can never be ruled in anything you are doing and you want to get result. But one thing that I know for sure, I can just graduate as a mass comm student and then apply for a job. One thing that I know for sure, if not 90 or 95% of jobs you see, they will always tell you 2 years, 1 year, or more experience. It's because not interest. It's because they want to be sure if you are being given this job, you have an idea, not just a little idea, but something that they know they can rely on. Even if they are to tell you, like, okay, in this organization, this is what we do, they don't need to go like from the scratch telling you, because they believe they don't have time for that. For instance, in our organization, like our choosing career, the media, take for instance, the media you call the CNN. You can't just graduate because you have interest in media and you go to CNN and they just give you one program because they assume you are being trained as a media practitioner. I don't believe that. So I know, yes, you can have interest, you can deliver, no doubt, but time is of essence to everything you do, because you have to put time and you have to prove to the world that yes, you have the knowledge, not that I have the interest that in doing the job I can deliver. Because doing the job with interest, yes, no doubt, but at some point so many things will suffer. That is why they will always ask you, you have interest, yes, no doubt, that's why you apply. But do you have the knowledge to deliver what you are to be delivered. Just like TV and radio. Yes, I can graduate as a mass comm, go to radio. Even at radio that they don't see your face, they can't just give you air to just start. That's why they have something that they call I've forgotten the name. Wow. You are
a radio personality.
Yeah, you have to bring. Okay, let me explain. You have to bring a recording of the program.
Audition tape.
On an audition tape. That's the word. An audition tape, and they will listen to you, and then they will start monitoring you until one day they will say, "Okay, now we are attaching you with this," or "Okay, do this. Let's see."
Okay. This issue is this issue. I'm just happy that it came up this way, and then I'm saying maybe I'm looking at a situation where we might do a show on today's life that talks about interest versus knowledge. You understand?
Yes.
Interest versus knowledge. Which one should be relied upon the most? I have seen people that have interest in a lot of things, but they are extremely dumb. They have interest. They are extremely dumb. Like they are void of brains in their head. This is the second time I'm using this. People have interest. Like their parents will be like, "You are good in this," so they'll be like, "No, I want to go for medicine." That's his interest. The parents are like, "You have made this. You have made this. We think you are innovative. You should be an engineer." Yes. Develop it. They'll be like, "No, my interest is in the medical field." But they don't have anything that suggests they have interest. Just like they are saying in the medical field, because whatever interest is, if there's no knowledge attached to it, interest is useless. Your interest can rise in so many things. Why? Because you are seeing it from a distance. When you start trying to acquire the knowledge, is enough effort to frustrate you. You cannot just know that even knowledge sometimes has a stop point where wisdom, because there are two different things, where wisdom has to take over from. You understand? You know. So if we have interest, we have interest on this show. That is why we are presenting it this way. Yes. But we cannot present the show perfectly if we don't have the knowledge of broadcasting. You understand? All right. We have a lot of people who are camera operators with us. They have interest. They didn't study it in school. They have interest. But we have somebody who is knowledgeable that is working with them. Until we see them perfectly frame a shot, until we see them perfectly do a shoot, until we see them going out to do stuff, we will know that interest and knowledge have matured. And these people can stay on their own. But personally, and that is not to look down on Valia's point, but personally, I cannot give you a job and rely on you to carry the job based on interest. I'll look at your knowledge first, and then secondly, I'll look at your interest. There are so many things that I would do that I'll start looking at your interest first. The kind that even if you mess up, it will not be told on my TV screen. Like someone who doesn't have any knowledge, but he has interest in cleaning. Our cleaners don't clean our studios. Our studio staff clean the studio. They know how to clean it. No matter how their interest is in cleaning, we won't let them here come and pour water and detergent on the camera, and they are washing it. You understand? But there are people you see, this guy has interest.
And the reason for doing that, you can excuse them because they see the camera dirty. But not understanding that knowledge.
Productivity. But can we, before we end this discussion, I also want us to go back to the basics. Interest made you to desire to choose that subject of study, to go to the university, or even to get knowledge. So at some point, one may come before the other. Sometimes interest may come before the other. A lot of people that go to study, larger chunk
I think
of
most
people,
of the time interest comes first.
Not
Yes.
all.
Yes.
Larger chunk of the people that go to study whatever course they do starts with interest.
Sure.
Either from the individual or maybe from the parents or somebody they've seen and all that. And it all starts with influence.
Sure.
Then you choose a course of study, you go and study it, knowledge comes in and all that. I've seen a lot of people that dump the knowledge they have to go for what they're interested in and they're striving in it. And I've also seen people, and I've also seen people that do not dump the knowledge they have acquired. They go for it, even though they were not interested at first, and they strive in it. So it still depends on what works for you and which. I've seen people that have taken jobs.
Can I just say?
I've seen people that have taken jobs because of interest they were given that job, and I've seen people that have interest has taken them to places and they have acquired knowledge and it kept them on that job, and then they were high above other people who have studied those courses in the university.
Okay, please let me just say this.
Let's quickly.
Okay, you said knowledge. Maybe he studied medicine, right? He dumped the medicine certificate. He wants to do broadcasting. So is it interest that makes him to thrive in that, or still with the interest there's knowledge?
It was interest at first, and then as a result of interest,
you don't even understand what my point is. I am agreeing with you on a particular thing, but I'm disagreeing with you on a particular thing. There is everything starts with interest.
Yes.
Even knowledge, you have to have interest before you want to acquire knowledge. But what I'm saying is, when you come to me with interest without knowledge, I will not consider you. I would encourage you rather to build up that interest and to gain knowledge in the area of what you want to do.
So that at the end,
because I am looking at
you'll be productive
the period where I will trust you with a position. Between that period till the time that your interest will yield to a level of productivity, I'm looking at a lot of things you'd have torn apart. That is just my concern. But it's not like interest is not important. Everybody, the pastor that preaches to me every Sunday started with interest. He chose what he wanted to do over medicine, over engineering, and I'm happy. But he had interest, but he doesn't have the knowledge of God's word. It's not enough. It starts with interest. No doubt. It starts with interest, but what we are saying is, it will be foolish of me as a GM to just pick Phoebe, who is in transmission, and say, I'm sending you to be a presenter because you have interest. I've never seen you presented. If you have interest, okay, I have people who come to me and say, sir, can I be taught this and this while I'm doing mine? I notice they have interest. I have a staff who approached me recently that she wants to learn editing, but she wants to still keep doing what she's doing. She has interest. Will I now carry a job and give her to edit while she wants to learn because she has interest? No. But I can put her with someone that can take her through editing classes step by step, and then I can tell her, try edit this, let me see. It's not something I want to put on air. I want to use it to rate your knowledge based on the interest. So I think we should do a show about interest and knowledge.
Sure,
so
very important.
Yes, but
it's still on point.
But at the end, what if you have interest and you don't get the result of what you are being given to do?
Well, no. Interest is not. There's no productivity from interest. There's productivity from knowledge, and knowledge comes from the interest. It's a build-up. It's like coming to ECWA Television and you want to talk about programs. You want to bring a program you want to schedule, and you come to the GM. I'll be like, yeah, thank you, you came to me, but go back to who is in charge. It's in hierarchical order. Interest is the first place where you start. It's interest that comes first. We cannot argue that. Interest has to come first. Your kids, from when they are small, you start knowing what they are what they are interested in. and what they want to do later in future. Some will tell you, I want to fly airplanes, and they are young because they like it. When they grow up, they tell you, no, I want to be a dishwasher in some restaurants and all of that. You understand? You know, so you have to, whatever you do has to start with interest. That, and even in the productivity that we're talking about, you can have knowledge, but you can build an interest to beat everybody in that area, and then you start studying more. Not for interest, for knowledge. You start studying more for knowledge to beat the rest. Interest is not enough to give you results. Knowledge will give you results, because anyway, we have to end the show here. We have to end the show here. I think we will consider, well, we will talk with the producer. People, if you have been following, we'll talk with the producer. If the producer thinks we should do a part 2, we will do a part 2. I am just a presenter on the set. Likewise, you are just guest. So we'll talk with the presenter and we'll see. The producer, and we will see if we can do a part 2 of this, and I will instruct the producer that we will do a part 2 of this, because the issue of productivity has not, because of the importance, has not even been touched. Women and men, who is more productive? Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, Valia, the controversial guest on set. The new study suggests that despite all the obstacles women still deal with in workplace, they just might be the most productive people in the office, pulling more strength than their weight can get the job done. Thank you very much for staying on the today's live on ECWA Television. My name is Tony J. Nakale. Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you very much, Hassan, Martha, Jonathan, Tabitha, everybody. I'm trying to remember everybody's name. Phoebe, and everyone that made the show possible. Our driver, welfare, everyone. God bless you. And then I pray that God will give you more strength to bear my troubles first, and then to be a faithful servant. I pray that God will find us faithful when He comes with the assignment that He has given us. I love the rest of you that are in the office watching this show. God bless you wherever you are. See you tomorrow on the Lifeline, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
It was really, really interesting knowing that who is more productive. Well, one thing I would say is that just as the Bible says, Jesus said that word, He is the vine and we are the branches. His Father is the word, the vine dresser. Whoever doesn't produce fruits will be cut off. Check yourself. Are you productive?